All right, welcome to Black Talk Sacramento number 11. This is our anniversary episode. We've been doing this for a whole year. Yeah. So
back from hiatus.
Not official
Straight
year,
out of
but
Sacramento.
Fiscal year.
Straight out of Oak Park.
Oak Park. Historic Oak Park.
Yes, we've been here at Underground Books, right here located at
2814 35th Street.
Right on, in Oak Park.
In Oak Park.
Yeah, so
Historic
if you want to
Oak Park.
buy some black books, you can buy some black greeting cards. You can buy some
Black music.
Yeah, black music.
And
you can also buy some black hair, I think, somewhere in here.
Well, Mother Rose also has book discussions and different types of
Book
events,
signings.
book signings, and things that you can come
Storytelling.
down and meet. Yes.
Storytelling.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if you
Marie Christie has a art photo exhibition going on right here. I see.
who's
Marie
it?
Christie,
Oh, very cool.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
female
This is
black
nice.
photo artist,
Photographer.
around Sacramento.
Is she from here?
Yes, she is.
Yes, she
Very
is.
cool.
She's actually from Detroit, but she's been living here for many
moons.
years. And she
How many years is that?
Many. Well, my name is Marichal J. Brown.
And I'm Gerry Simpson.
I'm inside.
and I am Antonio. Please call me Tony Harvey.
All right, Tony Harvey, let's get this started.
Yes,
Hey.
welcome to Black Talk Sacramento, y'all.
Welcome. Doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom.
Black Talk. Hey, Black Talk.
I'll switch it up this time. Happy
Sacramento. 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 And like to do in church.
Ow. Black Talk Sacramento. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, 1 year.
1 year, one fiscal year right here.
We have more than us clapping this time too, don't we?
Yeah.
We got
We
a
have a
nice
live
little
audience.
audience.
We do
have
We
a
got
live audience here.
Yeah.
Can we hear the audience say hey?
Hey.
Hey. All right, we want some proof there.
Y'all don't need a drink for that, huh? Like, hey. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get this party started. First up, we're gonna have Tony Harvey. He went on a little trip, and we're gonna talk about what he experienced. And then later on, we're gonna have him come back up and talk about the Observer News. And after we go through our guests, so our first guest is Tony Harvey. So what can we say about Tony Harvey as an official bio for him?
Official, I would. Okay,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Well, I find him to be an amazing person myself. Tony Harvey is all over town taking pictures at all the events, so he's there to support everybody. So I give Tony, I should take
thumbs
my
up.
hat off to him.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he's also a photographer and a reporter for the Sacramento Observer.
And an author.
And author. He writes books.
Yes. He has a book, Handyman, the
homicidal handyman.
homicidal handyman,
Homicidal
Oak Park.
Solomon killer. Black
Yeah.
serial killer from the 1980s.
True story.
on
True
death
story.
row.
It was a what you call that? A true crime.
True
fiction?
crime, definitely. Definitely
okay.
true crime.
All right, very
True
cool.
crime / biography, if you want to call it.
Okay, very cool. I dig that. So,
If you get a chance, come on down to.
spoiler alert: Tony Harvey do not get killed at the end of the book.
I'm well alive.
He's here.
But if you get a chance, come on down to Underground Books and make sure you pick up a copy of Tony Harvey's
Please
book.
do.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. So
Tell us,
yeah.
Tony.
where did you go?
Well, last month I went back down south.
Down south.
Deep down
He went
south.
deep.
Yeah, it started with a
Flew into New Orleans, drove up to Jackson, Mississippi, have family there.
So how was that trip? The drive from New Orleans to Mississippi.
well, I got there just after midnight, and the Essence Festival was just kicking off.
Okay.
So I'm standing in line in New Orleans. That is,
Right.
I'm standing in line, and somebody talking about, they ain't got no more rental car. Well, they better have a rental car because I done paid for mine. I'd have rented it,
Prior to
months
getting there.
earlier.
Right.
So yes, I did get the rental car, and I'm driving North 10 from New Orleans to Jackson, Mississippi at the middle of the night. So I'm not stopping nowhere.
Okay, I'm getting ready to make a trip down to Texas, and I decided to drive, and I wanted to know what's the best time to travel. So that would
Daytime.
be-
You can travel in the wee hours of the night, but please don't stop anywhere.
I'm not, okay.
Daytime.
Okay, I love Mississippi. I love Louisiana, but no, it's still,
It's
still got that racial
Louisiana.
element going on.
Is it like going back in a warp in time?
Actually,
time warp.
I think, in terms of like Louisiana, it's still part of, we talking about the Louisiana Purchase back in 1803 or something.
That wasn't the
It's
only
a
thing
different
that they
world.
was purchased.
It's still a different world. People don't realize that.
How does it feel being from California? And Californians tend to think that everything's groovy. To turn around and go back to a place where things are not so groovy.
Well,
how's that feel?
Yeah, there's some parts, like I said, it still has that racial element there. So everybody like be careful everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, be careful and stuff. But
so you're still getting that advice. I remember going down south, and my parents or grandparents would say, "Be careful when you go out there." So they're still giving that same.
They're
advice.
still giving that advice.
Okay.
But understand, I'm driving to Jackson, Mississippi. It has changed since Katrina. Because a lot of people has migrated from New Orleans into Jackson. Okay. And Jackson probably was like 50-60% black. Now I'm saying 70-80% black.
Whoa.
Okay.
Chocolate City.
It's crazy because there was, like North Jackson used to be, to be scientifically correct, practically white.
Okay.
We go on the north side to a fireworks because it's 4th of July.
How's that
July
scientific?
3rd. And it's all black and white. Okay.
Well, we live in different times.
This is the city I'm talking about. I'm not talking about them little smaller towns where you could possibly run into trouble if, you don't mind your own business or people don't mind their own business. I'm talking
if it's
about Jackson.
nighttime.
Nighttime is basically the same. I trust being in areas more such as Jackson or on the Gulf Coast with Biloxi, Pascagoula, all the way up to Mobile, Alabama, than I would mess around in them little towns that's not so colorful.
Right.
Okay, because like I said, they still had that racial element. But Jackson, which is pretty much designed a different way because they had to deal with each other. You got blacks that own cab stations, own shoe stores, own pharmacies, restaurants, of course. But I'm just talking about real enterprises.
Right. Well,
There's a black-owned television station there that's been black-owned since the 1960s.
Whoa.
Wow. And they had to fight. They sued to get that.
Okay. Well, what about grocery stores? Do we have grocery stores down there?
Grocery stores are basically chain grocery stores.
Okay.
Kroger's,
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly. Yeah. Piggly Wiggly. They're there. They got the Walmarts and stuff.
Any black-owned grocery stores?
In Jackson, at least South Jackson, now I'm talking about South Jackson, you go to the Walmart at 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's full.
Right.
Of black folk.
But that's entertainment, though. You got to look at it
Entertainment, the same thing. They listen to what we listen to, but a lot of
going
blues.
to Walmart at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, that's entertainment.
Yeah, very much so.
It's an outing.
Very much so.
Well, I think one of the reasons for like the southern states of going into those type of stores at that time is because of the element of the weather. So it's kind of warm, it's kind of very humid out there, and it's easier to step out in the middle of the night than it is to say up in the daytime, right?
We could do it here, but not in terms of. It's like
you said it's a
hundreds
festival,
of people out here shopping at night, and long lines, and they got it's basically like the club.
Yeah,
and you got long lines everywhere. Well, of course, you got the express lanes and stuff,
right?
That's basically when people do their business, and it be like families too. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you got your baby out, your little 5-year-old out, and, but it's a nice experience. I always liked Jackson. Of course, it's the biggest city in the state of Mississippi, and it is the capital of Mississippi. And, a lot of things was going on there. I went to Jackson State University, a historical black university.
Okay.
While I was there, they were at the Capitol having a protest about the Confederate flag, which I missed because I picked up the paper the next day, the Jackson Clarion, and there it was. So that just lets you know what the things that goes on there. And of course, you all know that, I did a little civil rights tour. I went to Medgar Evers' house.
Okay.
Yeah, so how was that, man?
That was a truly amazing experience. And I planned this trip to go to these civil rights areas, to get as we talked last week during our meeting, to get a better understanding of where we are today.
Right.
But to go to Medgar Evers' house and to still
basically
fully occupied, basically the same way that it was when he was killed in his driveway, June 12, 1960.
How was it walking up that driveway, man?
It was eerie. It was almost surreal.
Yeah.
Because I'm strolling up and down the driveway, because Byron
walking on top of history
is in a bush 100 yards away with a high-powered rifle shooting at him while his kids is inside the house. Of course, Merle, his wife, and he's getting gunned down in his driveway, just exiting his station wagon. It was surreal. I just wanted. It was just like I said, The Ghost of Mississippi, that movie.
How many shots did it take to kill him?
Oh gosh, there was still bullet holes in the house. He shot through the window. He shot through the wall. I think I seen at least 3. So I don't know how many he got off. Because we're talking about a high velocity weapon.
Right.
but they still have holes there. I mean, I got pictures of it that I took and stuff that they still have it. And there were people that moved into the house years afterwards, but they basically kept it the same way it is. That's the tripped out part about it. I mean, somebody brought up the point, you can still see blood stain in the driveway. I don't believe that's true, but the concrete of the driveway is still the same way it is from what I toured. Tougaloo College, which
Tougaloo.
Yeah, they own Murley willed property off to Tougaloo College, which is north of Jackson. It's basically all black college. It never started out that way. They run the tour. I was just going up there to take some pictures from the outside, and somebody poked their head out and said, "Are you here for the tour?" I said, "Well, I'm here now." It wasn't planned like that. Then another couple from Tennessee had pulled up. This is July 3rd, and we took the tour. It was about a little over an hour. It's about 3-bedroom house, dining room, the kitchen where a lot of the bullets hit, and bathroom. Very historical site. They, you got plaques and monuments on the outside, and then they built one room. They turned one room into, the history of Medgar Evers, and I think I showed that on Facebook, and it has a lot of information up on the wall. The thing about it, this particular house, which he built, he did it on a GI firm. GI loan. Bill, thank you, GI Bill. He built it because this is early 1950s. He built it where the rooms were in the back. Okay, not up front, because he's field secretary for the NAACP, the first in the state of Mississippi. So there would be some backlash from that. So he wanted to keep his family safe. So he built the rooms in the back. Also, he told his family, if anything go down, bullets start flying, this is what you do. You crawl to the bathroom, you get into the bathtub, you protect yourself for safety and stuff. So it was pretty unique that he had all this mapped out.
He had it planned out.
Yeah. And, of course, his day came. He was there when James Meredith integrated Mississippi. He was behind that. Okay, he was behind a lot of civil rights thing that events that was going on leading right up until his death that a lot of people don't know. Jackson is enormously wealthy with a lot of civil rights information. Now, I talked to a couple of people. One of them, she was 9 years old out there marching. She knew what was going on. She put her life out there on the line.
Right.
Jackson is a very interesting historical spot, and if anybody get a chance to to visit it, they have a driving tour of all these historical spots. Do it, take it. I mean, and it's just like any other Deep South city. But you enjoy yourself. That's what I said. And also, I drove 30 miles west of there. I went to the Vicksburg Civil Rights National Military, not Civil Rights, the Vicksburg National Military Park, where the Battle of Vicksburg happened during the Civil War.
Civil War.
That was amazing as itself. It's a 16-mile tour. And I drove it. I went there on 4th of July.
Right.
That wasn't planned, but they were doing reenactments, and they had a lot of people out there talking about, specific battles that happened right there.
Right.
Because it's right there on the Mississippi. You cross the Mississippi, you're in Louisiana.
So did they have history of the blacks that fought in the Confederate War on the Confederate side?
There is very few. And right now they trying to get more information to include that. They have this wonderful, beautiful sculpture of these 3 black Americans from the Civil War.
Yeah, I seen that picture you posted.
It's towards the end when I was about to exit out. It's a bronze statue. And there's 3 individuals. 2 of them are soldiers, Union soldiers, of course, and one of them is a slave. What was interesting how they had it set up, how the person did it. They're carrying a wounded black soldier on each side. The slave is looking back. The slave is looking back. It's like, this is what I'm leaving.
Right.
Okay. The wounded soldier, that symbol represented the blood and the effort and the courage of the black people.
Right.
And the other guy on the other side, he's holding up the wounded soldiers. He's looking ahead.
So he's moving forward.
Right, exactly. Right. Now, the guy, the slave that was looking back, my stepmother was like, no, he's looking back to see if that slave catcher is coming back to get him. That was an interesting point. But it's a beautiful sculpture. I forget who did it.
Are we free?
It's a beautiful sculpture. I forget who did it, but the person is based out of Jackson. It was put there probably, 5, 6 years ago. It's a beautiful, and then they have some other things in a museum that pertains to the blacks.
So how did you plan out your is there like a website where you could just be like, okay, this is all the spots I want to hit?
Well, like I grew up in Illinois, born and raised, and I used to go back and forth to Mississippi.
Okay.
During the summers, you know.
So it's like a bucket list thing for you.
You know, I said this time,
okay,
I'm going to jot down all these areas and visit it because I'm young. I was a kid. I didn't understand a lot of things that was going on when I was growing up. The Civil War thing, this Battle of Vicksburg, the Battle of Champion Hill near Raymond. What's this all about? Okay, and what is all this civil rights stuff that's going on in Jackson? So I just started writing Pacific areas that I want to visit,
to hit,
and that's what I came to. Says, yes, I did put together a bucket list before I got there. I still have it.
Okay,
sitting on my desk at the Observer. That's how I put it down, and I was able to do all this in 6 days and still visit my family, my father's side of the family while I was there.
Right.
But it was truly an amazing experience because what I was telling you guys last week is about where we at right now.
Right,
we got to go back and see what's going on. And I told you about the slave plantation.
Did you go to the Ebony Awards too as well, or
Essence Award? No, I got there the last day. It was there back in New Orleans.
Okay,
but I went to that Creole plantation.
Oh, okay.
The Lower Plantation, which has a lot to do with the Songs of the South, that Disney movie, because some of the stories generated off this plantation.
Okay.
And this plantation, it was a sugarcane plantation. It was 12,000 acres. They had about 200 slaves on it.
Wow.
Working 6 days a week out there in the hot sun, making money. And these were Creoles. Now, this is not the regular slave owners. These were Creoles. These were people that possibly had black blood in them that owned slaves.
That owned slaves, right.
And this is about the early 1800s, and they did it up until right after the war.
Okay.
When they freed the slaves, they had to pay for labor, but
I ain't paying for you.
That was interesting too.
Well,
this is like 35 miles west of
they don't pay them nothing. Poor guys.
And there were people still working there, but they wasn't paying them nothing.
Right.
This is about 35 miles west of New Orleans, 35 miles east of Baton Rouge, just right there on the Mississippi River. And it's about 13 plantations along this road they call the River Road. Louisiana Highway 18. If you ever get back there, check it out. But I just wanted to get an understanding of where we're at today. Go back and see what was going to bring us up today. There's a lot of things going on with the black community. I'm just trying to get a better perspective on this thing and share it with everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Hey.
Well, thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Tony Harvey.
We definitely going to have you back at later on.
For the Observer
Thanks
News.
for letting me share.
Because we got a lot of stuff to discuss.
We appreciate that because I do believe that we need to travel the country and come back and tell the stories of what's going on around the country.
Especially for those of us who don't have the gas money to go to these places.
We're going to have to take you
pass the hat around for brother.
Are we talking about the first
I
guest?
live my whole life online. I live vicariously through you.
Well, let's give it up for Tony Harvey,
Tony
you guys.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Antonio.
All right.
So our first guest for this evening will be Laura immoBme, az.i.B.we cook. She is a poet, mentor, educator with Sacramento Area Youth Speaks. She and her sister Raw Syl, Phunne Stewart are the daughters of Cynthia Robinson, trumpet player for Sly and the Family Stone.
And the Family Stone.
All squares go home. Yeah, that's who we talking about. We talking about
and
Cynthia.
Stan.
Ooh. Welcome. So I guess we're all fans.
Hey,
Yes.
I felt kind of bad because we started the introduction like we do a little impromptu music, and we needed to have you on there.
So
I was in the back.
She gave a snapper too.
Snapping.
Yeah, I heard that, but can we get a little something
sound there?
Can we get a little Black Talk Sacramento? Woo-hoo. I can't do it. I really can't do it.
I need the ensemble. Like,
You're talking about using a backup
Okay,
piece.
It's balanced. There you go.
Dum 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 dum. She's here. She's here.
Okay, we got a little woo from.
Yeah, we got a woo. I like that though. That was a woo.
A little woo. Okay, for yourself.
I even hit that note. Hold on. Woo.
Hit yourself. So
That's the only note I can hear. So what's going on?
Welcome.
Y'all are a mess. I love it. Thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Well, we would like to welcome you to Black Talk Sacramento on our anniversary show, our 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Hoo-hoo.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Don't let me do the remix.
Happy.
So tell us something good, Miss Cook. How's it going? What's new and exciting?
Oh, what's new and exciting? I think the most exciting things would be that our youth are amazing.
Yes.
And the other exciting thing is that my sister has begun touring with my mom and a couple of the original members of Sly and the Family Stone.
All right, now.
Really, really cool.
Take
to
us
watch
higher.
and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk. We're going to go into Sly and the Family Stone, but let's start with Says.
Sacramento Area Youth Speaks.
Yes, you guys just came back from incredible competition that you guys did in Atlanta. Can you talk about that?
That's BMV, Brave New Voices. Yeah, it was pretty, well, it was hot. That's the first thing I remember. I feel like I have a new take on why they call it Hotlanta. I thought it was because it was kind of saucy, you know, spicy.
No,
everybody
baby.
looked good.
We talking about humidity.
Yeah, melting. Everybody was melting.
Did you sweat in the shower?
Oh my God. You have to chew the air. You know what I'm saying? You have to break it up with a knife and a fork, chew it
yeah,
fully,
to consume.
so you don't choke.
Right.
You don't want to choke on the air. That's not cool. Yeah, it was really hot. And the babies dealt with it pretty well. I feel like they were champions.
Well, they adapted. I
was about to say, they didn't complain like me. I must be getting old.
Old folks don't adapt.
So how many of the poets did you bring from Sacramento?
We had, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 youth that we took totally, and one of our youth, Shamari, won the International MC Olympics.
All right. Let's give it up.
Yeah.
From Sacramento.
And I would like to say that is my stepson.
Hey.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, can you tell us what Says is about?
Basically, there are several components to Says. One is a residency in the classroom where we go in and re-engage the students in the learning process through spoken word, social justice, and we really want our babies to not be left behind. You know, we've been told that no child is supposed to be left behind, but Black and brown students are definitely getting the shaft on some things.
Right.
So the schools that I enter into, I see a distinct difference in, you know, the way that the classrooms are kept up. Some of the classrooms in the wintertime, they got the air on, and the heat in the summertime, they got the heat on. You know, it's just utterly difficult to already, you know, to get the students to learn. They're coming from situations where sometimes they're hungry. We had I remember doing a class on that. Just being hungry. What happens when you're hungry? Right. And asking the babies. And that particular class, they had administration from the school sitting in. And it was beautiful because at the end of the class, at least one of the women came up to me and said, you know, I never even thought about the prospect of hunger. I've never had to be hungry. That's never been an issue for me. If I'm sitting in a meeting and my stomach is grumbling, I know I can go to the restaurant soon, or I can get up and leave the meeting and go eat. And so they had never even thought about the possibility of being hungry, let alone how that affects. And the students were able to voice and use their own, you know, stories to tell what happens when you're hungry and you get ugly.
Yeah. It was very hard to concentrate, you know, because when you, like you said, when you hear that rumbling in the stomach, and it's like, whoa.
You focus on the stomach.
Yeah, you know, and that can create headaches and all other kind of symptoms come along with being hungry,
Just something simple as being hungry, you know, So that's one component of Says. The other is that we have annual slams, competitions where students from all around Sacramento, 13 to 19, I think is the age range, and they come in and they compete.
Okay, wait, what is a slam? Just in case somebody doesn't know what a slam is. So
it's where you take a chair. No. That's another
kind of slam.
It's an opportunity for the young people to they tell their stories through spoken word, and then they will come and compete, and then each competitor is scored up to a point, 10 points, and whoever gets the highest level, there's like 3 different rounds, and at the end of the rounds, whoever gets the highest score we'll go on to the next. We have prelims, we have semifinals, and then we have finals.
So, okay, so you guys, they all compete here in Sacramento.
Yes.
And then they go to Davis for a huge conference, right?
The other component, which is our annual summit, is held on the Davis campus, and there the ones that have made it to the finals, they get to showcase. So that's their really, really time to shine as a team. That's when we unveil our whatever year it is. This year is 2015 team that will be traveling with us to the Brave New Voices competition, which is an international competition.
Cool. So let's talk about the trip to Georgia. How was that? And how did you guys do?
I think we did pretty good. I think we had a few awakenings. A lot of these teams are like not playing. They are not only telling their stories, but they are there to win. And one of the beautiful things that I love about Sac Youth is that we kind of shake things up in that we have our own style and our own flair. And I really love that because they tend to, like one year we had, well, even like with Shamari, we had like rappers.
Right.
We have some who like to sing a little bit and get that in. I feel like the competition went really well. BMV keeps you really busy, so it's a week-long no sleep fest, basically.
Right.
Again, the young people dealt with it pretty well. I, on the other hand, did not want to get up.
So what was that experience like? Did they get a chance to maybe look around Atlanta and see other...
They keep a pretty tight-knit grip on us when we're out there, and for good reason, because we're talking several hundred, like, sure. I almost want to say sometimes it looks like thousands of students.
Okay.
So it's a huge mass of people. So usually we will be housed and hold a lot of things on whatever campus is there. This year, oh great, I can't remember the name of the campus. I'm in big trouble. It was University. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so a lot of the events and things that took place happened on. I was trying to look at my tongue.
That's what I
didn't know. I was trying to see it because it was on the tip of my tongue. No, it wasn't. However, this is another thing that Sez likes to do, and so far it's a secret, so don't tell nobody.
Okay.
But we because our babies. Thank you. Okay. Our babies don't get out of SAC.
Right.
So we like to take a little time to just like do our little side trip.
Right.
And through that, what we got to do was we did get to visit Morehouse. We got to visit Spelman and Clark. And I knew that Spelman and Morehouse were sister, brother colleges, but I didn't know that Clark was a cousin. I had no idea that they had this like unity of all three campuses. So that was really interesting. And the way that I think they said Morehouse was able to remain a college for males is that they included classes so that Spelman could come over and take classes.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. So that's the only way they got around that. So we did sightsee and get to see quite a few things, but for the most part, they like to keep us on the campus or wherever they have designated different slam spaces.
Well, that's great.
How the students like being in the South? Were any of them inspired to write differently once they got there and came back?
I feel like quite a few of them have been writing. I haven't had an opportunity to hear what they've been writing yet, so I'm not really sure if they were writing differently, but definitely some of them have been inspired to write. Some I've been hearing, oh, Mama, I wrote this. Oh, I wrote this. Oh.
Okay.
So we're going to have to get together and sit down and get to hear some stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, let's switch it a little bit, and we were speaking earlier about you being your mom playing with Sly and the Family.
I wanna take you higher.
Your mom playing trumpet. She was, and during these times,
Cynthia.
we're talking about the 60s.
Right.
For a female trumpet player was amazing. So and you grew up in the midst of all that.
Right.
We got a little bit of, we got a little history. We do have a little history. I remember, I'm going to tell a real quick story. My uncle actually stayed down the street from Sly Stone's mom, and they used to practice in
Big
the
Mom,
garage.
Big Daddy, yep.
And I had to be maybe about 5 or 6 years old, and we would go and sit in the garage, and moms would come out and bring out lemonade and all kind of goodies to eat and things like that. And at that time, that's when I first met Laura, which is crazy because we didn't know some odd years later.
Tell the truth, some 50 years later.
But I'm not going to get that number.
50 years later.
Many years.
Well, we found out in the midst of talking about it, and it was like, whoa, I remember all of this. So yeah, okay. But how was it growing up in the midst
Drive. That was Big Mama's house, Urbano Drive.
Yeah.
Many memories there.
Oh, wow. Okay, but go ahead. Tell us what it was like growing up in the midst of all this.
I feel like sometimes my stories aren't as fantastic as people might expect because I didn't know anything but that. So I didn't know how to see it
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now that I'm an adult, I look back and say, oh my God, I didn't realize that there were trendsetters that were laying the ground for change. I didn't know that everywhere I went, if I chose to speak my mother's name, that it could shift the atmosphere. So, and I never did. Most of my growing up, I didn't speak about it because I didn't know how to speak about it. So my friends would come to the house and they'd be like, oh, what's that on your wall? And I'd be like, oh, those are gold records. And so my mom finally pulled me to the side. She's like, how come you don't never tell anybody about your life?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know what to tell them. Like, what do I be like? We hopscotching. My mama is Cynthia Robinson. What do I don't know? I don't know how to bring that up in conversation. And even now, I'm still working on it, but I don't know how to do it.
Well, I'll blow your horn for you, honey. No, when I was in high school, the movie Woodstock came out.
Right.
And Sly.
That was a long time.
No, hold on, brother. Hold on.
It wasn't that long ago.
I'll stand up for mine. I'll stand up for mine. No, but Woodstock came out, and Sly and the Family Stone at the time, I was too young to go to Woodstock, but I was old enough to go to Broadway in New York and see this movie.
Right.
And Sly Stone and them made me alter my whole entire wardrobe. I went and got somebody that could knit hats. I had to have a knitted hat with the balls hanging from the side. Okay? And in my eye, everybody was a star. So, you are, quit, boy. No, but hey, Sly and the Family Stone was very, very much ahead of its time when it came to the funky music being created by an interracial band.
Yeah, right. Interracial women.
Interracial women, a woman playing a trumpet.
Right.
Gender, I mean.
Your mom she was blazing trails, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, hey, when Sly got married at Madison Square Garden in New York City,
Wow.
that was crazy.
Wow. I don't remember that.
Don't try it. Don't go there. Don't go there. You was changing channels back in the days. Don't go there.
He was like, wow. What was that?
I heard about that.
Heard about it.
That was like decades ago.
No, he was like, did they engrave that somewhere?
That was on the stone that Moses carried.
Right.
Okay, well, guess what? I am a witness. Okay? And they did rock, and I still rock.
Right.
I will say that as a kid, the most exciting part of that experience when they got married on stage was that we had sequins all over the house for
forever.
Months.
Right.
And it was so fun. Don't ask me.
Yeah, they wore
why.
a sequin. Sly wore a sequin jumpsuit, and the bride wore sequins too. This was the wedding gown, and the whole Madison Square Garden was basically the people at the wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that was crazy.
It was amazing. I do remember.
Yeah,
that,
I know you know. I know.
But okay, and in turn, you became a prolific poet and singer.
I will say this.
Very humble.
As I
Very humble. She's
Too humble sometimes. It'd be like, girl, go ahead and tell them who you are.
Come on now.
Go ahead and say who you are. Get the plug. Get the plug.
I will say this: as I am getting older, I am learning that that those gifts have been in my bloodline for a long time, and I just thought it was just the way that my mama raised me.
Show 'em,
But
Child,
then
use
I
'em.
learned that my grandmother was a classic pianist, and like it just keeps going and going and going. Apparently, from what I have learned not too long ago, our family was one of the first Black families to move into Sacramento.
Okay.
We were one of the first Black families to integrate public schools.
Okay.
My mom has some amazing stories about Cal Middle School that would freak you out. Like, I'm surprised that she is a decent human being from the things that she experienced through racism and the things that went on, because I would totally, have to forgive her for being a sniper. You know what I'm saying?
But she became a star instead. That was
exactly.
what you she shot things. She shot. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go.
And she kept hollering at people, all squares, go home.
Well, can right, dance to the music. Can we get a sample of your poetry?
Ooh.
I want to be me.
Okay. Okay, I won't do the whole thing because it is,
Well, give us a snippet.
Okay.
Let's see. Start from the start, huh? Whispering in his ear, my magic potion for love, telling him I'm sincere, and that there's, I know some folks like, where's the poetry? There's nothing too good for us. Deep, piercing love has often laid to rest, and in some cases it's even killed my attempts to kiss fear, holding it almost intimately, like a lying mirror bent to steer my hand from being laid to the plow of truly loving.
All right. I'm going to be me and you. Go on.
But that's the whole point. Az.i.B.we,
That's right.
Okay, so what's new? What do you have coming up?
Personally, for my own poetry, I've really kind of taken a back seat because the youth is really, man, they're amazing. They really are.
Yeah, and I would like to bring up that we were talking earlier about the video that is out for sale.
Right,
so if you get a chance, go on Black Talk Sacramento on Facebook. The video is posted for sale.
I've posted it on my wall. I've posted it on my immoBme az.i.B.we wall. It will be going out and over again. It was shot and edited by Eli Jacobs Fontausi and his crew, which they did an amazing job. I was educated that it's a short.
It is considered a film short, right?
Yes, and so it's like a little mini documentary of what we do from the classroom all the way to the summit and the competitions, and it is really well done. I have to admit, I've watched it several times. It's really beautiful, and I guess this coming year says is going to be doing some shifting in time frames that we run our slams, the summit. Just so you know in advance, it will be on the 20th of May. Is that 2016?
2016, yes.
Right. Yeah, that we're shifting a lot of things. We're learning a lot. We're growing a lot as individuals and as a movement. And we'll always be about the babies. We're beginning a component where we get the babies back into heading it, because that's how it started with young people who wanted to see change and called their friends to step up for change. And so we definitely want it in the hands of the babies, because they're
What
amazing.
about the children?
Right.
They really are. I mean, we complain. I'm on this kick right now, and I'll be brief, that I feel like our elders have kind of dropped some of the balls, in that right now all I hear coming from the older folks, and I am in that group, but I hear a lot of talk about, the pants need to be up, there ain't no respect, and all these things that seem to be extremely negative. And my heart aches because I don't, like on Facebook, you see the posts, I don't get to hear the beautiful positive things, and I'm seeing a lot of beautiful positive in the midst of some insanities. They're kids. They've got to grow through it. We had to grow through some things, and some of us are still growing through it.
Right.
So, it's become like a mission not only to touch the babies, but to also spread the word that our babies are like gold.
That's right.
And we really missing out on our riches and wealth by not acknowledging that.
Okay. And if people want to get in contact with you about SAZ or maybe want to have you come out and perform, how do they get in contact with you?
You can contact me through, what is it? I don't know how to, immoBme, az.i.B.we is my Facebook.
Spell that for them, because you know what?
Here we go. I'm going to go slow because we always do a heck of fast. Here we go. immoBme is IMMO, capital B, M-E, and az.i.B.we is AZ.I, capital B, W-E. Lawrence is over here cracking up.
And you will be able to go on to the Black Talk Sacramento website.
/.
What is it? www.
Oh, yeah. blacktalksacramento.com.
Yeah. So, and all that information will be posted.
There you go.
All right. And you'll be able to know how to get in contact with SAZ and also Laura. immoBme, az.i.B.we.
Cook.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Laura Cook.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
That was excellent.
That was very good.
Yes, the children are
we
gold.
were nerve-wracking?
Huh?
She said we were nerve-wracking.
No, not you.
Oh, okay. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. Thank you. You guys.
All right. Okay.
Our next guest
Is Kareem Daniels, and he's a comedian, a philosopher, and a poet who likes to poke fun. Unafraid.
That's
you
you
guys got to see the visuals that's going on around here because it's some crazy thing. Okay. Unafraid to touch on any subject matter, from race to religion to the politics of dying. Kareem has been featured in the 15-question segment on the back page of the News and Review and co-produced the Chitlin Circuit Art Exhibition at the Brickhouse Art Gallery. We'd like to welcome Kareem Daniels.
Yo, Kareem Daniels, what's happening?
What's happening? So, okay, tell me a joke.
Is that not the most important question that you get daily? Don't you never tell nobody you're a comedian?
Be funny man.
Oh,
Be funny.
That's exactly it.
Make me laugh.
Come on.
Either tell me a joke or I got a joke for you.
Well, I want to hear one from you. What's a joke?
Give us a good one.
A good one.
A good one.
I want to laugh.
Your
man.
best one.
Come on.
My best one.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm
Think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Trying to be.
Well, that's funny.
Trying to keep it kind of PC.
Kind of PC.
Kind of PC. You know, like
Okay.
I got female friends. I love women. You know, we're good. It's cool that we can be friends as long as we both know what that means. That is the 20-20-20 zone. That means don't ask me for more than $20. Don't ask me to drive you no more than 20 miles. And don't ask me to lift no more than 20 pounds.
See, you ain't right.
I like that. 20-20-20. What's been going on?
Anything over 20 miles, there's some sexual favors there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the car on the way.
In the car on the.
See,
You won't get me to San Francisco and be like, oh, I'll get you on the way back.
What you say? I'll be okay.
I'll be okay. Yeah.
What's been going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just got back from a 10-day meditation retreat.
I saw
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So tell us what is that about? What
And you needed a haircut after that. I saw a picture. You needed a haircut and all that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, come on, retreat.
So there's a documentary out called The Dhamma Brothers,
Okay.
which is about this meditation technique, which is called Vipassana. And they did this technique in a prison in Alabama. I think it was Alabama or Georgia. But a part of that process is a 10-day silent retreat. So it's 10 days. There are men and women at the retreat, but you're segregated. You can't talk to anybody for 10 days. You actually can't look at anybody for 10 days. You can talk to the teachers and the teachers' assistants and the people on the
Where did you go? Prison?
campus.
Tell it to you was in jail.
You can't look at people?
You can't look at people.
So wait, are you in the same room as other people?
You're in the same room as other people.
So you have to look down all the time?
You have to look
That's
down all the
prison. You
time.
can't look anybody down.
Yeah. No, it's a way of keeping you within yourself.
Okay. And by yourself.
And by yourself. And you meditate for...
So was y'all fasting too, or what was
No, it was a vegan diet for the time. And actually, I'm now a fan of vegan food because they had some really good food.
Okay.
But it's 10 days of you being
So
with
how much
you.
did it cost you to go to this retreat?
It's free.
Yeah, well.
And they feed you for free?
They feed you for free.
Oh, I might go.
So is it far away?
It's that one was in North Fork, which is out by Yosemite.
Okay.
And there's another one in Kelseyville. But
Okay, y'all not gonna move to Africa or anything
No,
like
it's-
that. This
yeah,
is
no.
Drink no
like
Kool-Aid
cold.
or-
No,
Right.
it's not a cold. So the weird thing about it was that it wasn't really weird.
Okay.
There was like a kid that looked like him being there might have saved a school or something.
Oh, okay.
Because he looked like he might have shut up a school.
Oh,
He was wearing a trench coat.
Okay. And there was that white kid that wanted to be everything but white.
Right,
Like
right,
he
right.
showed up and he was Indian.
He's in
now.
dreadlocks, okay.
Like he had dreadlocks last year.
Okay, all right. He has a feather today. He had a feather today.
But now he's a Buddhist.
I did hear you like to poke fun.
Yeah. And then there was a guy who looked like he watched the movie Siddhartha and decided he was going to be Siddhartha. And then he turned out to be Mexican.
You just got a lot of confused people.
Yeah, it was a lot of. Yeah.
And it was like, well, okay. So how did it feel to looking inside yourself for 10 days?
Well, the other part of it was. But the rest of the people were just people trying to escape for a minute and try to get their bearings and try to figure out what they wanted to do.
Which way is up?
Which way is up, pretty much.
Right.
So in that process, long story short, I was a foster kid. I had six different sets of foster parents. So I've been working through stuff for like the last 20 years, but I still have some stuff to work through. So in that process, you get to actually clear all the clutter out of your mind.
Right.
To the point where you stop hearing the voices. And silence, when I say a silent meditation, the voice in your head is louder than anything that you can imagine.
Whoa, I can imagine.
Yeah, like you realize that the voice in your head talks way more than your wife does.
Boom, boom.
I am feeling very uneasy.
Wait a minute.
Suddenly we're moving in our chairs.
Wait a minute. That is if you're married.
You gotta be kidding.
It might be your mama's voice.
And that's the thing.
That sounds like something
And that's the thing. It would seem like I would get through a voice and then like another voice would
somebody
take
come
over.
up.
Like, damn, where do all these voices come from? And then just images of stuff that you don't even know that's in your subconscious just comes out.
So do you start talking to these voices? I'm serious though.
No, the idea of the meditation is to learn how to detach.
Okay.
So the key to it is not to grab onto or judge anything that comes up.
Right.
So you're just letting it pass through. You acknowledge that it's there and you just kind of look at it for what it is and let it go.
Okay.
And so the whole process really is about letting go and detaching. Like even I got to a place where the voices stopped and the pictures stopped and I just had clarity.
Whoa.
But
So that's kind of reaching a higher point of yourself, right?
right.
Spiritual
Spiritual point. But then they don't want you to attach to that either because then when you go back to meditate,
Right.
then that
try to
makes
attain that
you try
same
to
level.
attain that same level and then you miss out on the whole part of the process.
I will have to admit I've been there one time before.
You was high.
By the way,
Go ahead, man.
I want to take you higher.
But one of the things was
Wait. Okay, what
Go ahead,
happened?
man.
Yeah, what happened?
We wanna know what
How did
happened to you.
Yeah, what happened? Why did you go to
To that place.
to that place? What was the?
Mr. Daniels, could you please?
So I will say this about the And we meditated like 8 hours a day. So
Oh, my goodness.
wow.
So
That's
it wasn't.
serious.
It's serious. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So now, if you meditate for 8 hours a day, do you get a chance in that day to have something to say to somebody?
No,
None at all.
none at all.
So where do y'all meditate? Like under a waterfall? What was y'all
So you
doing?
can't take books, you can't take notepads,
You can't take me.
music, you can't take anything. So you're with you for that whole time period.
Okay, so it's
Man.
But
teaching.
where was you meditating at?
You can meditate in your room, or you can meditate in there's a meditation hall that we went to every day.
Or in
so
the
they
woods.
were like, huh?
In the woods.
It's out in Yosemite. So, but
In
no,
the woods.
you're in the meditation hall.
Okay.
so
they-
it's like cabinets and
Yeah, so there's a big meditation hall, and then they have cells that you can go to if you want to kind of dig in a little deeper.
Sales?
Yeah.
What kind of sales?
It's just a little room.
A little.
Yeah, it's not prison.
Sales.
But it's one of those places where
You
like
just
if you-
lost me just now.
Solitary
You said
confinement.
sales.
What you doing push-ups?
the first time I did sit in there, I was a little uncomfortable. But then I went back in the next day. I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm doing this, so I'm gonna try it. And I actually went back in there, and I had like one of my best moments of clarity throughout the whole process. So. And that was the particular reason for those. It is if you wanted to try to dig a little deeper in what you were meditating on.
Would you get in trouble if you talk to somebody?
wouldn't
I'm
get
curious
in-
about this.
You wouldn't get in trouble.
Would they put you out?
No, actually, they kind of expect it because they don't.
They don't
because
expect you to
know-
go total silent in a day.
right because they know that you're human.
Okay.
So
you can be like, you're gonna be like, excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
they
farted.
know. Yeah, they know that there are certain. They know. So like it would be interesting because you would have your day, and then the guy would do the discourse at the end, and he would tell you some of the stuff that you did during the day.
Oh, they was watching you.
No,
Oh.
no, because the guy's dead. Guy's been dead for a couple years, but you had like a video of him giving the discourse.
The guy that's dead is telling you what you did?
Yeah, well, because all of the things that he
He took a
talked-
video years before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the things that he talked about are things that are human nature.
Yeah. So things that's something that everybody would do.
So everybody
things
will
that everybody
experience.
would
Right,
experience
okay.
during the
Paint a
process.
He's not
Picture for a
psychic.
brother.
Yeah, he wasn't.
You did that.
He wasn't telling the future.
Oh,
he was
that's
like,
what I'm trying
he was
to
like, Kareem, I see you.
No, he wasn't like that.
He like, hey, how you know me?
We don't
did.
honestly, we don't mean to make light of this.
Oh, no, it's cool.
But for a brother, this is unique. You know what I'm saying?
and that's part of the reason.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I will say, and I'm gonna say this part of what happened with me was so. Like I just said, told you I was a foster kid.
Right.
So my mother left when I was 2 weeks old.
Yeah, you have an amazing story, man.
So
So you gonna write a book about it?
at some point, but in her stead, there were 3 women who stepped up and have been mothers to me throughout that process. And so on the last day that we could do a serious meditation, I sat and for the first time, I'll say in my soul, I realized that the 3 of those women choosing to be my mothers and to love me outweighed her leaving by such a large amount.
That's right.
That it's insignificant at this point.
That's right.
And so just to be able to get to that point, to get that personal clarity was worth sitting 8 hours a day, barely being able to stand up at the end of the evening. So
Being love is more important than who's loving you.
exactly.
Just be in love, period. You
Just
know?
being love,
I
period.
like that. That's a great
Write it
phrase.
down. We're gonna coin that phrase.
And
Go on with it.
we as black people, sometimes, your dad leaves or you're stuck living with your grandma or whatever.
And you carry that forever.
You carry that forever, and sometimes we get caught in in abandonment and who's loving us to the point that we miss out when certain people are trying to step in and
Come on with
do
it.
what they can for you.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna pass the plate
like
after
who's
this,
not,
brother. 'cause
who's
you're
supposed to love you,
Yeah, who's supposed to love you, and
and then you forget who's really loving you.
yeah. So sometimes we miss out on that part.
Right.
So,
So do you recommend this for
I recommend it for some people.
some people?
Yeah, because like
'Cause
I
that's
say,
an
everything ain't
extreme,
for
yeah.
everybody.
Everything ain't for everybody,
Anything for
yeah.
everybody. But
That's
for
what
But I mean,
Marathon.
but is there a way that somebody can, reproduce this, maybe even at their home, and say to try
Don't
to
try this at
meditate
home.
without
no,
necessarily?
Don't try this
try
at
that
home.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
We're gonna tell you right
meditation
now,
for-
don't try it at
that's some
home.
serious Yeah, it's
Find you locked up in a closet.
Yeah.
Don't try it at home.
Yeah, so it's not something that I would have anybody try at home.
Right.
But
You need guidance to do it, right?
You need something that you need guidance to get through. And people come back.
Right.
So like I said, it's free, but it's like a donation based thing. So whatever you can donate, they appreciate. If you can't donate, if you could go back and do like a day service, because the people that took care of us were volunteers. So if you go back and do that, then they appreciate that. If you have a special skill that they can use, then they would appreciate that. So and you don't have to.
You and Lawrence can go.
Yeah, you don't have to.
What?
I got special skills.
And you don't have to commit to being a Buddhist or whatever to go, or you don't come out and you're like, oh, you have to follow the practice. It's kind of like, okay, this is a stop along the way, or this is a tool that you can use to help you, moving forward.
Okay. Still can't be spoken word though.
It can be. It can be after the fact, because there were mornings I had clarity about some things that I've never, like, certain things were laid out for me so clear that I don't think I would have ever got to that point without doing that. So
all right.
So you had a mountaintop experience.
I had a couple of mountaintop experiences.
Okay, very good. So let's talk about the juke joint, because I know that we are.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
so coming out of there are two projects before the juke joint.
Okay.
So one of the projects is going to be actually a podcast called Searching for Black Jesus, which I will talk about the search for spirituality in the 21st century. Being black and searching for truth and spirituality in the 21st century. And we'll be interviewing people from various faiths and let them talk about their story and why they believe what they believe and how that works for them, just so that we can get some other information. Right. Because a lot of times we just don't know. And then the other one is a project that I've done a bunch of different stuff. Right. And I've been trying to figure out how I can do something to give back a little more, because I feel like I have to for all the people that have stood in for my folks. And I talked to the people at Sankofa on Sunday, so I might be doing it there, but there's a project that's going to be called The Opportunities Are in the Credits. So, when you watch a movie, everybody stops when the credits start rolling. Right. But if you actually look through the credits in the movie, there are a bunch of opportunities that we don't know about. Right. And so, like, you could reproduce that with like a CD. Like, if you took a CD until you took the liner notes, you can look through there and be like, oh, I didn't know that was a job. Like, if you got a kid that plays trumpet in high school and he'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be done playing trumpet in high school. And be like,
actually, you can get a job as the best boy.
Yeah, you can get a job as best boy, or you can be a session musician in Hollywood. Right. And then
or
grip.
Yeah.
And
engineer, sound engineer.
Yeah. And so the idea is to think outside the box, and to teach them how to think outside the box. So we'll start with those two things and then teach them how to take that and apply it to almost anything. So that's one of the other things that came out of that. So, like I said, it was one of those things that came out, so I'm still working it out. Okay. And like I said, I talked to the people at Sankofa on Sunday, so I might be doing it there. And if they'll have me, then I think I'll be grateful to do it there.
Okay. Well, let's talk about you have also been doing some promoting, presenting different types of shows, and you have a show coming up called Juke Joint Fridays.
Yeah. So that came out of the Chitlin Circuit exhibit that I did with Milton Bowens and Angela Mays. So we did an art exhibit where we taught, the girls and Milton did art based off the Chitlin Circuit. Okay. If everybody don't know, that's where James Brown, Little Richard, that's why some of the great music came from. Yeah. And so
and that was because when they were touring, they wouldn't let them play in
they could play in white clubs, but they couldn't play.
But black people couldn't
go there. Yeah, right. And they couldn't stay.
Right.
So in keeping with that, like when I did the art talk with Milton, I like to remind people that wasn't like the Chitlin Circuit wasn't Motown. Right. The Chitlin Circuit was the stuff that stank. The stuff that made you frown up your face when you heard it, like that funk of James Brown.
Right.
So my idea is to kind of try to recreate that. So we're doing it at the Brickhouse, and I'm trying to get artists that have a unique voice and actually give them an opportunity to actually perform, because a lot of the shows I see around town, they have a bunch of people on the bill, which is totally cool, you know.
Right.
But I want to be able to give my artists a chance to actually perform. So I'm trying to book like a singer and a comic and just give them 45 minutes to an hour to do their thing and show people what they got.
Okay. So who are some of the guests that you have coming up?
So the first show is my boy D. Tyler. This guy is my favorite comic in Sacramento.
And this will be on Friday, September 18th.
Friday, September 18th.
At the Brickhouse,
Yeah. Like Laura can attest to this. There's always an artist you'll hear them and they always make you want to write. D. Tyler is that comic for me.
Okay.
Because he'll take something and he'll twist it in a way you be like, how in the hell did you get that out of that?
Right.
So he's that cat for me. And then the universe smiled on me and gave me Erica Ambrin to open the first show. Because I did not know who she was. My boy Andrew Defoe said, hey, you might want to look at this person. And I talked to her. We came up with a price for everything. And then I was like, oh, I might want to listen to her before the show. And I went back and listened to her. And I was like, damn, I did not offer you enough money. If you like India Aubrey, if you like Guapale, you will love Erica.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the show is on September 18th.
And then
at what time?
It's
going to be 7 o'clock to 10.
So doors open at 7. We'll probably start the show about 7:30.
Okay. So CPT.
CPT.
Because it's the juke joint,
Because it's the juke joint.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And now, is there a cost to get in?
So it's $10 if you get your tickets on Eventbrite before next month. It's $15 at the door.
Okay.
I'll tell another quick joke before I go.
Okay, yeah.
Wait. Is there going to be a fish sandwich at the juke joint?
Nope. Well, we're going to have something.
What, do you have one in your pocket?
You got a fish sandwich in your pocket?
So Leo Hickman from the Happy Hippie Cafe, he'll be providing some tea. And then my love for vintage mobile boutique, she'll be
Classy
hippie.
Classy
hippie.
Yeah.
And then the lady that does the mobile vintage boutique, she'll be there.
Okay.
What's a mobile vintage?
So she has a van.
She has a truck that she drives.
Oh,
it's a store on wheels.
So that's the mobile portion
Okay,
of
and
it.
then it's vintage clothing.
Vintage clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's a new trend sweeping the country.
Okay, so before you go, can we hear one more joke?
So I like I said, I'm from the South, so I grew up around the juke joint. We called ours Piccolo Chapel because on Sundays your daddy took your mama took the kids to church, and your daddy went to Piccolo Chapel to talk junk about the preacher. I can't tell the rest of it.
No, you okay. This is a podcast. We're okay.
You got some children.
We
got some children.
We got children in the house, yeah.
Don't talk about the sand on the floor. You don't know about that? At the juke joint, when you go to the
there's
sand,
no
sand on the floor.
the sand on the floor helped add to the music. When people dance, you hear shh.
So that's where they got the soft shoe from.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Can we have a 20-20-20 joke again?
Oh man, I hate people who hate on athletes and entertainers. You want to be mad at somebody about you not being 6'5", able to run a 4.5 40? Be mad at your mother. I call mine every week and say you should have picked somebody taller. How you gonna have sex with somebody who's 5'3" and name me Kareem?
Ladies and gentlemen, Kareem Daniels. Give it up.
Oh man. Well, that is funny. You know how people be naming people different things. You know the girl
because they want you to be something that you're not.
Yeah, maybe they don't Alexis.
Well, yeah, Lexus,
or Mercedes, or Porsche.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name my son. I'm gonna name my son Toyota. Like, come over here, Toyota.
Well, at least you didn't want to
This
call
show
him.
is efficient. Okay, so next up we have Observer News. So what time is it?
Observer News.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Y'all must have been rehearsing.
We need a barbershop.
I like that.
Come on back in here, Tony Harvey. How you doing?
Tony Harvey. Okay, this is the fourth
All right.
edition to Black Talk Sacramento, ladies and gentlemen. So we like to bring back Tony Harvey.
Yeah.
Tony Harvey.
Yes.
So
love it the way you add the Observer into the mix.
Yeah. So what's happening in Observer News this
week?
Well,
this week.
This week, today, I'm gonna start off with a individual who is looking for some serious financial assistance. She's a former graduate of Sacramento High School. She attended UC Berkeley. She taught elementary school in Ghana, Africa. Whoa. She has advocated for the less fortunate after the Katrina hurricane in New Orleans and the Gulf Coast state. And her name is Dominique Donette.
Okay.
Yes, she will be going to Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts in the next couple weeks. And the price is pretty high, but she's still going. She is looking to raise $75,000, but she said basically she'll need half of that. She'll take the others out on student loan. It's a graduate program. She'll be going to do some things that has to do with educational policies, which she's been working on right now down in LA at a program. So basically she is from Oak Park.
All right, okay.
And she has really lived a tough life. She's been in and out of 26 different schools, in and out of several different foster homes, such as yourself, Mr. Kareem Daniels. But look how you turned out great, and certainly this young lady has done the same. So yes, they put together a GoFund campaign for her. It is GoFundMe Dom to Harvard. Of course, I wrote a story.
To Harvard, huh?
Yes, this is a graduate program.
Okay, very cool.
She's a double major from UC Berkeley, so she had this opportunity to either go to Stanford or Harvard. She really wanted to go to Stanford, which I think she did get accepted, but she eventually decided on Harvard. It's just a one-year program. But she'll learn a lot.
That's all you need from Harvard.
Yeah.
1 week got me like, I'm a Harvard graduate.
Well, this is great because we need to spotlight the youth that are doing something out there. And so many times we turn around and we always talk about what they're not doing. And actually, it's a lot of people out there that are doing fantastic and great things that that is benefiting the community. So let's give a round of applause.
Yeah.
Just like one of our guests just said, we don't highlight that enough.
Yeah, and then also, Sacramento's very talented.
Oh, yes.
We have a lot of talent.
Across the board. We ain't just talking about athletes. There's a lot of young people coming up these days and they're doing some wonderful things.
Amazing.
Engineers, scientists, doctors, lawyers.
Indian Chiefs. Indian Chiefs.
Indian Chiefs?
You know them. Never mind.
I don't know. I'm lost with you, man. Now it's that look. Don't even worry. I
don't think Indian Chief is a major.
So how can they donate?
Like I said,
how can they get
this is what you can do. Go to www.sacobserver.com and you will see the story on Dominique there. And at the end of that information, end of the text, we'll have all the information about donating to her. Okay. Now, she set it up as an agenda where you can sponsor certain things that she needs. Right. Her rent, coats or something like that, because it's going to be extremely cold out there on the East Coast. So if you want to fund 2 coats or whatever, you can do that, rent, because she won't be able to work the whole time she's there. She will have to invest all of her time into this.
She'll be doing research and studying. And
it's a wonderful lady. I spent some time with her and one of her foster mothers last Thursday, Miss O.D.L. Burr, who actually brought her from. She was born in a federal penitentiary.
Whoa!
Yes, she was born in a federal penitentiary in Dublin, California, and Miss O.D. Burr went there to pick her up before she ended up being on the adoption list, and it took off from there. And her parents, been through some rough times. She keeps up with them, but not as much as she wants to. But just the type of person that she's becoming and coming out of a unique place as Oak Park says a lot. So if you have a willing heart, whatever you could donate, $10 to $1,000, I'm pretty sure this young lady would be appreciative.
Give the name that they can send it to once again.
Her name is Dominique Donette. That's Donette. Please go to the Sac Observer website and you will see the story. And at the end of that story, the end of the text, we'll have all the information. But please read the story. That'll give you more of an understanding of what she's about and what she's been through and
where she's going.
And then she's going places. She's been around the world. I mean, she's been to 7 different countries. Of course, she's been across the country. She's a dancer. You know, she has some time. She spent the summer at the Alvin Ailey Performance Theater in New York. So she's pretty well rounded, you know. You got a great outlook on life. So yes. Okay. So I thought I'd just bring that up though.
So if you're feeling very philanthropic, you can go ahead and donate to a sister that's doing good things, going to Harvard. Hey, you can actually say, hey, I helped you through school, so I'm going to stay at your house this weekend.
Well, about it.
Yeah, when she gets somewhere, when she becomes Condi Rice, you can be like, hey.
Hell, so the Observer also did a story in the calendar section about the Straight Outta Compton film that is coming out this Friday.
So have you
August
seen it?
14th. I have seen clips of it, but I tell you one thing. One of the things that's rolling out there is about the way women are being portrayed in this flick. Now, I'm going to see it, but understand, we are talking about gangster rap, NWA. They pretty much pioneered this whole gangster rap thing.
Well, you know, I was reading, and Oprah gave it thumbs up. She said it was a very powerful film. Mm-hmm. So, and this was things that were going. I haven't seen it, and I'm definitely going to see it. But these were things that were happening in our community during that time. So, you know, even though there may be some risky and you might not want to see it, it's real.
Well, you know, going with open mind, that's all what I say about films anyway, because I hear a lot of reviews, and, you know, if I get a bad one, well, that's not me, because I want to know for myself.
Sure. Yeah, so we all know that you're a movie.
Yeah, you know what the movie posters are. I'm big on Hollywood. I watch silent films. Yeah. That's just me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Okay, so what else do we have?
Okay, well, I do want to, we did mention Milton Bowen's art exhibit, which is 10 cents from a nickel.
10 cents from a nickel,
yeah, that's going on at the Brickhouse Gallery that I think everyone should check out. A lot of history behind that, and I mean, that's one of the things that I learned, you know, when I went on my trip, you know, about the slaves in the sugarcane field, and they put their face on a product for advertisement. Right. This is basically what Milton is talking about, and so you know what I'm talking about because you were one of the guest poets there, and you said some profound things about that era. Hey, how long ago? To the end of this month, in August?
To the end of this month.
I want to say
he has
August
a
30th.
On August 30th.
Yes.
And then he has an art talk on August 29th.
Art talk, okay. And we do want to support that August 29th.
Absolutely,
I think what it start about 7 o'clock.
One of our local intellectuals / artists. You might want to go out and hear that man speak. You always come out enlightened. So what else do we have here?
Yes, even though it just passed, I do want to highlight the fact that St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church on 14th Avenue, Oak Park, they just held their fundraising concert for the Miss late Carrie Sue Williams as pastor, Dr. Reverend Ephraim Williams, pastor, late wife who passed away a few years ago. They have a concert every year to fund a scholarship that she had started before she passed on to give to kids who are just on the fringe, they could fall backwards or move forward, but they want to go to school and they don't have the funds. So this is what this concert did. And cool. I think this is the second concert that I understand that it went pretty well. And as always, we still have these other issues that's going on. This is a couple of days ago was the Mike Brown.
So how is the body camera thing coming?
And that's one thing that we talked about last week. We need to get back on that because a lot of things have stalled in the California State Capitol as far as pushing legislation on this. I have to get more information on that. But I do know Stockton has fully implemented body cameras for 250 officers, and they're not looking back. They are going with this. Yeah. And we all know about what's going on down in Stockton.
I know Stockton ain't no joke.
Yeah, Stockton. Okay, but Sacramento, you said
Sacramento. We spoke to the chief of police or the Sacramento Police Department, Sam Sommers, and that program, which is still a pilot program, is still in progress. Okay. And somewhere down the line, he did say they're going to report back to the city and see where they want to go with this. Okay. I think they're going to stick with it, but what people must understand is it's a costly
It's expensive.
Device. Any device could cost anywhere between $400 to $1,000. Then we have to think about the storage
and to maintain
and how to maintain.
But I think that if we keep pressure on them, because they have the money, believe me,
they can get the money.
They can get the money if needed. So I think we just need to keep pressure on them and make sure that those things come about.
Because the thing about why Stockton is really gun-ho about this thing is somebody donated $300,000 to this program to make this happen. It's an anonymous donor, but somebody's like, this is important. Maybe, they know the situation, okay, because not only it could protect the citizens, it could protect the cop too. $300,000, obviously someone wealthy who could do that. But regardless of that, Obama got some programs out there where they can get the funding too. The money's out there. You're going to have to do it anyway because this stuff is getting way too. I mean, about the indictment back in Cincinnati where they indicted the police based on that body camera.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said the guy that he shot.
Yeah, because he said the dude tried to run over him and he dragged him there. Yeah, but the body camera says this.
No, you just shot him in the head. That's what you did.
You just shot him in the head because you was feeling like that day, and that's where it's at. Now, he's only been indicted. It hasn't been a court trial. There hasn't been a conviction, but that's a start.
Well, at least the camera, brought it out. All right, well, let's talk about something else, other stuff that's going on in the news right now. So, Sandra, I know we haven't been Black Talk. We took off last month, but so much happened last month. We had the Sandra Bland thing happen last month, right?
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Which was another issue where a sister just got from a blinker.
Arrested.
Yeah. She was arrested and then mysteriously.
But not only just arrested, but she was
from a blinker.
taken out. She was tackled.
Yeah.
She was pushed to the ground.
Just slammed to the ground.
Just from not putting out your cigarette. Like
right. And she was provoked. I believe that she was.
So do you think
he said, "I will light you up"?
He did. Yeah.
He said this.
He said the words. You heard it on the tape.
I will light you up.
Yeah. While he had the taser in his hand.
I will light you up.
To me, it's just amazing. Remember, I was talking about
all over when
we first started this show. We was talking about what's that brother that got killed in Ferguson, which was the anniversary.
Michael Brown.
Anniversary was yesterday for that, right?
Yes.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
The night. It was Sunday.
The day before. Oh, it was on Sunday.
Ferguson is on fire again.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
It is.
They had a killing. Yeah.
They had a killing.
And then they had the white officer, not white officer, but white pedestrian, white civilians out there with guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talking about they protecting something. It's like, come on now.
About those people on the first show.
Yeah.
It's amazing how nothing has changed, but everything is.
They're looooting.
Did you all see the?
It's amazing, but the police officers, they're not going to come out there and arrest them. Yeah. They're not. I mean, they have fully automatic weapons, like they're in Iraq or something, like they're occupying forests.
A lot of those guys are police officers.
Yeah.
Oh, they off-duty police
to agitate. You talking about as far as agitating the whole?
Right.
They're off-duty police officers. They're military people who took an oath when Obama got elected not to uphold the Constitution or the stuff that he does. He promotes.
Whoa.
Well, did you see the news on the news this afternoon? They showed a tape with the young man with the gun in his hand. The one that was supposed to be shot in Ferguson.
Right.
They had this young boy got shot. Mm-hmm. Okay. But they've now found a tape showing him shooting at the cops.
They found a tape.
They have a tape that they're showing him running. Like they show this tape where there's a crowd of people. And then suddenly the crowd starts running.
Yes, I did see.
And then he runs in the middle of the crowd. He's standing there with a gun in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that the first night.
No, they're talking about this tape. This came out today.
Just emerged.
This just came today.
The first tape that they showed of the incident, there was a kid, there was somebody shooting.
Yeah. They said that's what. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If you're shooting at the cops.
You know what I'm saying? We at war.
Let's be honest now. I'm just saying.
That's where it's at. We're basically
and a lot of times too, I think, and then also to the argument of, I'm really tired. I'm tired of the argument that always everybody put forth all the time. It's like, but what about black on black crime? That kind of thing. Why?
But what about it?
It's like the police. Okay. It's like the police officer. The police officer is. But he's like, okay, so they doing some violence against black folks. But what about black folks doing violence on other black folks?
That is an issue that we need to talk about.
Yeah, we can't.
That's not apples and apples.
Well, no.
But that's
not
an issue we need to talk about,
that it's not okay, I believe
nobody should be killing anybody. Okay, but we can't keep letting the past happen when a black person kills another black person.
Well, yeah. White on white crime happens at the same rate as black on black crime, but
all
that's
domestic
not
crime
okay.
is the
Hold
same.
on, real quick. Let me just say my piece.
Okay.
Okay. We do have a problem with police violence against minorities, and we do need to talk about this, and we need to bring it to the forefront and have changes. But we also have to focus on us having crime against each other. So that it's two different things, but it's two major parts of our community growing that's important. So you can't ignore black on black crime.
Okay,
we have to talk about it.
Well, let me put it like this. There is such a thing as crime, right? So you just have crime. I mean, across the board, it's crime, right? And we only have one force that's supposed to fight crime, and that's the police force. So it don't matter if they black or white. If they want to rob somebody because they trying to, and that's the difference in between the other issues. And that's why we have such thing as a ethnic crime or race crime, because it's not based on a motive that is normal. Like somebody see you got sneakers, they want to take your sneakers. So that's crime. If somebody see they break into your house, they want to do that. They do that.
But I believe that's the mentality that we need to change in our community. I can't worry about
that's crime.
Hold on, yeah, you're right. But but I can't worry about white on white crime. I can't worry about
crime is crime.
Crime is crime. But in my community, I believe that we have to focus on what is the problems that we're hating each other.
You know what the problem is?
Well, tell me if you have.
The problem is that when you call the police. Right? When you call the police, when there is a crime that happens or a crime that is about to happen or you're about to be victimized, right? If you turn to the police, you'll get killed. There's nobody you can turn to, so you take law into your own hands. And a lot of times...
That sounds ambiguous, though.
It's true.
But you're saying that if I call the cops right now, that I'm going to be dead, okay?
I'm saying it's a high probability that they will turn to you as the victim, as the perpetrator of that crime.
That's true, but okay, take all of that out of the picture.
You can't.
Yeah, you can, because I remember
I'm taking my law in my own hands.
Hold on. I remember in Oakland, back in the 60s and 70s, we used to police our own communities.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but I'm saying, let's take the police out of it. What is the problem that we're having that we hate each other?
Ourselves?
I'll tell you what the problem is.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll tell you what the problem is, because I was told it right here a few months ago in this bookstore, Underground Books, by Ambassador Andrew Young. Okay? America just has a problem with violence.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
This ain't no black on white thing and stuff like that.
Okay. Now,
that's what I'm saying. It's like
that's the problem.
On October 10th, Farrakhan and some other people are having another the 20th anniversary march on Washington, Million Man March.
Million Man March.
And they will be talking not only about the violence that is perpetrated against us by the police officers, but also the violence that we perpetrate against ourselves.
That's right.
So I think those are things that we have to focus on. I understand what you guys are saying. Violence is violence, but there's something within inside of the black community that we are targeting
ourselves.
Each other.
We're targeting ourselves. That's crazy.
I did a paper when I was in school. I did a paper, and we was talking about the incarceration rates. Right, and how black people make up a larger percentage of even though we 20% of the population of America, we make up 50% of the population in prison. Right. And so we was talking about that. Well, I was writing a paper about that, and I found out that no matter what race that you in, if you're Chinese, white, Japanese, Hispanic, it don't matter which one, they commit the same amount of violence against themselves, not across the race that everybody does. Everybody does it.
That is true.
The problem with the black people is that there's nobody that we can turn to for help. There is nobody. It's like I have to turn to myself for help. So it's like if you victimize my sister, if you rape my sister, right? If you rape my sister, then I'm gonna have to take care of it. I can't call the police because they're gonna say there's a problem with her. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's not that. That's all I'm saying is that there is no one, and that's the difference in between black on black crime and police crime against black people. Is that they are supposed to be the people we're supposed to turn to when there's a problem, when we need help, and they don't do that.
But
they don't help us. Even the ambulance, when we call the ambulance to come down to our community, they come 3 hours late. People did.
Okay. One more. Let's get one more because we got to close down the show. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that we still don't have. We have to take on a healthier attitude towards ourselves. If we can see ourselves differently, I myself personally believe that other people will see us differently. We can't keep on allowing certain things to happen in the black community and think it's okay, and then jump up and down and scream when somebody else does something. That just doesn't make any sense. You know, if JoJo killed Bobo, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. And we should jump up and down and scream about JoJo killing Bobo.
Right. So we should march just as much as we march for anything else. Tony, last word. Tony, last word.
Last word. Hey, great anniversary
I got
show.
a few more. I got a few more things. But go.
Oh yeah. No, if you have a few more. Hey.
Well, I just
come back to your last word. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my thing is that on tech news, I just want to put that out there. Windows 10 just came out. I'm gonna put online that how to install Windows 10 on your Windows phone, Windows computer, because that's important. There's a step that you have to go through to get Windows 10 on your computer. If you have Windows 8.1, I just want to let black folks know that so you don't do it wrong. I'm gonna put that link on there. All right, because y'all be like, my computer ain't acting right.
Well, black people and white people do the same.
They got the same mistake. You better put it out there for everybody.
White people got this information. We don't. I'm going to put this on the Black Talk Sacramento website.
Okay, Tony, last word.
Wait a minute, I got...
Okay, one more. Go ahead.
Negroes.
I know. And then also, too, I wanted to mention last time I was on the air, I didn't get a chance to mention that, where, again, I'm trying to push black folks into the tech industry, into the new green tech stuff.
Yes.
Tesla just invented this thing called the Powerwall, where you can actually go and like store up the gas. You know, both of you guys have the solar panels, right, on your house, where they invented the Powerwall, where you actually can, during the peak hours of the day, it can store up power, and then you have power at night. So it's very cool. You could buy it, it's $3,500. You can put it on your wall, and it just stores the energy. It's like you can use the power at night that you stored up during the day. It's very cool. Yeah. Get into that, you know, so that we can reduce your. I'm trying to make it so that black people don't have to put their light bill in their baby's name.
Hey, we should hear about.
Okay, Tony, last word.
Even right.
We should definitely hear more about tech news. But anyway, hey, fellas.
Well, I need to borrow a baby.
Marichal, guys, this is a great show. Great opening, to start the second season of the show. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Laura Cook, you were beautiful. Kareem Daniels, man, you funny. Come on back, push them on. And I will be hitting
2020
in the next few weeks.
You can quote
great
that.
show.
Man, you funny.
All right. Okay. Also, Gerry Simpson has he just had an opening.
Yeah, he has his own gallery
opening.
now.
He has his own gallery. It's called the Brickhouse Art Gallery.
What's it called?
Studio.
Is that the official name? Is the okay? All right.
North Sacramento.
Okay.
Del Paso Boulevard,
Second Saturday, September
12th.
Okay, so who's your first artist that you're going to, besides yourself, who's the first artist that you're going to?
Well, right now it's him.
Exhibit. Yeah, I know. Besides yourself,
I'm looking at actually David Alexander. I'm looking at several different people. So the show opening is actually me, but going forward, I'll be actually showing other people. My goal is to just give everybody another platform, in another side of town. It's my way of trying to get people to travel through Sacramento.
Okay.
If you came to see me in Oak Park, come now to Del Paso area. But we calling it Uptown, y'all. Uptown in the Design District.
So 1825 Del Paso Boulevard. September 12th is an art talk with Gerry Simpson. Make sure you pick up one of the new catalogs that he has out. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you.
From Black Talk Sacramento, we are underground books. We try to do every second Tuesday. So
tell a friend.
Come on down and listen to a live show. The podcast is going to be online pretty soon.
We'd like to thank all our guests.
Yeah, Black Talk Sacramento, number 11.
Number 11.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mother Rose.
Signing off.
We love you.